thing for this.
I think that where we're at politically, that might actually be true, I think.
They're all accusations, by the way. I'm not saying any of these things are true. It seems like, by the way, it seems like if Destiny did do something that was really bad, a guy who's been on the internet for over 15 years, you'd have something worse than like a few Discord logs that are dubious from 2012. Like, I will say that, like, after this interview, I was threatened with legal action and told my career would be ruined if I published it. So here it is. All right, let's see it.
Hi, I'm Sandy. My pronouns are she, her. I am here representing for Mammies for Trans Rights today. We have just come into the park. We're very hot and sweaty and tired and full of emotional because the streets were full of joy for our trans kids. So our group is about stepping out for standing up for our kids because the political landscape is heinous. And we, our two co-founders, neither of whom are here today, unfortunately, Claire and Karen, they decided that they needed to do something. And so we all formed, and year on year, month on month, there's more and more of us coming together across Ireland in all of the Pride marches and protests this summer. We're nearly in every one of them. So we're going around spreading love, spreading the joy of being parents who can love and stand up for our kids.
And do your members have trans kids?
Some do, some don't. So some are allies. Some people don't have children at all. So to be at Mammies for Trans Rights and participate in this group is about loving all of our kids and giving all of our children, wherever you're from and whatever you look like and whatever your gender and your identity and sexuality is.
Holy shit.
That is all of our kids. So you don't actually have to be a parent at all to be participating, and we have loads of people who aren't. So we've got the baddies, we got the mams, the uncles.
The kid is running around with the oppression flag on. Oh
the
my
grands,
god.
the dads, the nibblings, the siblings.
Jesus.
All of these people.
And can I ask you, what do you think of the puberty blocker trial over in the UK at the minute? There's a lot of pushback against it.
I think it's a really difficult conversation. I think they give puberty blockers to kids who are having
How is this allowed?
early puberty anyway.
We let them do it.
I don't know why it's different when it's a trans person.
Yeah.
And that's where I think if this is a mechanism that's going to keep a kid alive rather than not, as an intervention.
Let me change my gender or I'm going to kill myself. Oh, right. Yeah, that's called a mental disorder. Yeah, if you want to kill yourself as a kid, you need to be committed to a mental institution.
You know, why not? Why wouldn't
doing?
we do that when we do that to another 8-year-old who's having early puberty, which is where that
8-year-old?
medication comes from, right?
Yeah.
So why wouldn't that be different?
Oh my god.
I think it is quite different. Like if in the CASC report it says that puberty blockers are likely to cause things like osteoporosis within young children. Children and
The
stunts.
CASC report has been debunked by many scientists at this point. So I don't think it's something that we need in Ireland to bring in and stand over. I think we need to do Irish research for our Irish.
See, I think that the moment that these people make an appeal to a like an authority, like, oh, it's been debunked, I wish that they would ask follow-up questions like, well, what if it did cause these things? Like, would you still support it? And the answer actually for all of these people, that they'll meander around it, but the answer is actually yes. So while they do try to use the authority as a justification, they don't require a justification. They would do it anyway.
Community and for all of our people who
They'd
live here,
still say yes.
I think there is a fair
It doesn't
amount
even
of
matter.
research available and people doing research in this country that we can look to the best models of healthcare. So for instance, I know people who are going to Iceland to look at their model of healthcare just because they're our neighbouring country who
Isn't Iceland subsidized by Denmark? Iceland's massively subsidized by Denmark.
Have a model of healthcare that is failing significantly the trans community. I don't think that's the place to look, and I don't think we need to import that here.
That's Greenland? Oh, sorry. No, you're right. That is Greenland. Excuse me. I was wrong.
Honest, you know?
But prior to the Kask report, there was countries like Sweden stopped prescribing puberty blockers to children because they seen it was doing a lot of damage.
Sure.
What do you make of that?
Isn't it crazy that Leif Erikson actually... Wasn't he the one that named it? "700 years later, he's still getting people. He's still getting them. That's crazy."
Sure. I mean, I'm not a scientist or a medical person. I'm a parent. And, like, my job as a parent is to advocate for my child's safety and life.
Got
and
him.
if puberty blockers
Iceland's
might lead to
some country, it
osteoporosis down the line versus a dead child really soon, I know where I'm going to go.
There's also another study that shows that after someone transitions, the suicide rate actually goes up. So the argument that, you know, a dead child or a trans child doesn't really make a lot of sense.
Well, there's significant studies that would say, like the Trevor Project will say that one adult in a trans life who stands beside them significantly reduces the suicide likelihood. So, I mean, I guess, like, again, I'm not a scientist, I'm a parent. So what I know about science is that we can probably take science to show whatever we want to if we want to be biased to something.
These people don't actually give a shit about science. Whenever they quote studies, whenever they say, oh, well, this is what's proven, they don't actually care about that. They think that you care about that. That's why they're saying it. These people are weird freaks that want to genetically change children. They should be put in a fucking prison. So really, you have to keep in mind that every time they try to make a play for rationality or scientific method or anything like that, they only do this in the process of trying to basically skinwalk your ideology against you to allow them to do whatever disgusting weird shit they're trying to do.
And I mean, it's to each
don't
parent's
really care
prerogative,
about
right?
science.
Of how they decide, how they bring their kid in, how they talk with their kid, how they engage in informed consent and advocating for their child, with their child, of their child. And I mean, that's a really individual. It's each parent for what their priorities are and how they live in their lives and their families. I wouldn't say that it is an overarching, this is what must be done or not be done. But we need some healthcare in this country for our trans kids because currently we have none.
Yeah, you do. It's called a mental institution, and you need to be in it with them too. The kid and the parent needs to be in it. The kid needs to be in an institution so they can be rehabilitated from the abuse that they had to deal with from the parent, and the parent needs to be in the mental institution because they wanted to mutilate a child. It's actually really simple. I agree.
You know, you're looking at extensive wait lists to the point that they're like non-available, right?
Well, wouldn't a good argument for that be because it's become such a social trend, like onset rapid gender dysphoria becoming
No, I don't think so.
a thing?
No, I don't think so.
You don't?
No.
Even though the numbers for trans children has skyrocketed in recent years.
No.
So why do you think the numbers have grown so significantly?
I would say probably things like more language available, more education. You know, in the 80s, there was, I don't know how many people in this field were queer and didn't have the language for it. And maybe it's like not too different to that, you know? And maybe there's a safety mechanism of people understanding that I can come out or I didn't come out because I didn't have the safety, I didn't have the household, there wasn't the space for me, or I didn't have the words.
But children as young as 8 and 10, they don't really have the capability to understand that language in the first place, so people understand them now.
I think they do. I think they do know things. I think people...
She thinks that kids understand the nature of being gay and being trans, and they understand the political ramifications of it, and they have like fucking three-dimensional reasoning of like why it would be more okay to come out as trans now versus before. Like, I'm sorry, but like if you're a parent and you have an 8-year-old kid and you think that your kid is trans and you're dressing them in the other gender's clothes and you're trying to get them on puberty blockers and stuff, you need to have that kid taken away from you, and you need to be brought up on charges for child abuse. This is an insane, disgusting thing, and the fact that we're allowing people to do this at all will be looked at historically as an evil. It is an evil that we are allowing. Like, we need to immediately shut these people down, and we need to do so in a way that is punitive. It's not enough to simply remove the problem. We have to punish the people who created it. It's grooming and it's sick. Yeah, these people, they're basically pedophiles.
People are really disparaging sometimes of children. And, like, I mean, if we're running around and we've got, like, people giving baby grows to a little boy being like, I'm whatever, and then on a little girl, their little thing is I'm so cute and kiss me and all this. I mean, it's the same, but in a different, it's dressed up differently, right?
Yeah,
you know?
well, I suppose so, but like if I had a son who was like 2 years old and I put him in...
The difference is that, like, they're actually a boy, though, right? Because they're born a biological male. So, like, that's kind of like a pretty big difference, though, right? Because, like, you know, you're going to get a boy clothes for boys because he's actually a boy. Like, I feel like that's a pretty big, like, little fine point there.
Think, saying, I'm a girl, whatever. It wouldn't actually be a girl, though.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No? Oh.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking...
Little fine point there.
Think, saying, I'm a girl, whatever. It wouldn't actually be a girl, though.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No? Oh.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact... that we emblazon and...
Actually a boy. Like, I feel like that's a pretty big, like, little fine point there.
Think, saying, I'm a girl, whatever. It wouldn't actually be a girl, though.
No, that's not what I'm talking about.
No? Oh.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that we emblazon and we live our lives surrounded in a heteronormative patriarchy. And so those social norms are projected on...
You know what the fact is? The fact that this stupid, retarded Karen is able to go out and talk about this proves that we're not living in a patriarchy. Because the patriarchy that I dream of would never allow a person like this to do this. I wish you were right. I do. I wish you were right. And back when you were actually right, the world was a better place.
To children without the children having any consent to that anyway. And so how is that not...
This is also, and this is another really big component to like what their ideology is that biological realities children can't consent to. So it implies that they can allow children to consent to other things because they can't consent to a biological reality such as puberty. It's a false equivalence that's created in order to open the door to allowing children to consent to sexual behavior. That's what they're doing.
How is that okay? But a child who has the language to say, this is how I'm feeling today, this is how I'm feeling tomorrow, why don't they have the language? I mean, if our job as parents is to lead and inform and educate and listen to our kids, if they're going to tell us something, certainly to my mind, from my job as a parent in my house, this is the only place that it matters to me. It's my job in my house to listen to my child, and it's another parent's job.
Well, why don't you just give them infinite candy? Why not, like, whenever your kid says, I don't want to exercise, I just want to sit all day and watch TV and sit on the iPad and eat gummy worms for every single meal, why aren't you giving him gummy worms? Why are you telling them that he has to go to bed at a certain time? So why is it that, for example, a child can't make a decision on what they want to eat on a day-to-day basis? They can't make a decision on when they need to go to sleep on a day-to-day basis. They can't make a decision on, you know, like what they're going to wear to school, but they can make a decision on their gender. How does that make any sense? There's no reasoning to this at all. Why would you default to an 8-year-old's judgment or viewpoints on something as important as their gender? It doesn't make any sense.
In their house to listen
People
to their
are
child.
lunatics.
And as I say to my kid, our rules are our rules. Their rules are their rules. Just because they do something doesn't mean that we're going to do it or you're going to be allowed what your friends are doing, right?
Yeah, that's so you can do whatever you want. So I have my own rules, and one of them is you can change your gender.
Fair enough, but would you let a child get a tattoo?
Well, no child is allowed to get a tattoo until they're 16.
These people need to be oppressed. They're begging to be oppressed. They're saying we need to be put in a fucking institution, in a jail, in something.
Or 18.
Oh my.
So they need consent already. That's already looked after.
Why is that? Is that because it's a lifelong decision?
Well, it's probably health and safety. There's consent. There's informed consent there. You know, we're not talking. I mean, I know you're going to try and hone in on the puberty blockers piece, right? Social transition is the first part of this, right? Do you know what that is? Social transition?
I do. The cast review also found.
Yeah, that's when all of the adults in your life try to groom you into being a girl whenever you're not a girl. That's what a social transition is. If you're socially transitioning somebody in a public school, I think that you should have your education license taken away, and any of the administrators that were aware of it or enabled it should all be brought up inside of grooming charges, federal grooming charges. It's because, again, guys, it's not enough for them to lose their job. You have to destroy their life. You have to completely and absolutely destroy their life. And only then will they start listening. And maybe that might not even be enough. You might have to go around after the people around them in order to create a culture of fear to make other people enforce this on each other. And I'm not above that.
That socially transitioned child,
I think we should
in
do
most
that.
cases, would lead to that child going on puberty blockers or hormones later in life.
Some kids, yeah. Not all kids.
It's found that the majority of kids that were socially transitioned.
I mean, maybe that's right for them, right? And like that,
Maybe that's right for them.
it's a slow, gentle process. Like a kid doesn't come in.
You know what else is a slow, gentle process? Grooming. Grooming is this. Isn't it crazy how you could have this? You could literally just change the vocabulary. You could change one word, and this person would be advocating for themselves going to jail. It's a simple process it's a slow process getting a kid to believe they're another gender. Oh my God. 100% if you have the ability to screw with the child's mental capacity at all, to prove a point or conduct some kind of social experiment, something's wrong with you, something is wrong with you. There is something fundamentally wrong with these people. There are. This isn't going to happen because the politicians don't care about common people enough to make it happen. I really think that a person who's willing to go after these people and like really actually like seriously go after them, I think that they would get a huge amount of public support. I think they would. A crazy amount of public support. The moment that they just came out and they said, these people are dangerous, deranged, pedophile freaks, and we're going to treat them that way, which means destroying every aspect of their life systematically, and then throwing the book at them and putting them in institutions and removing all of their rights. The moment that you have a person come out and say that, I think that they are going to have an insane amount of support. I think people are tired of these weird freaks running around trying to run society. I think they're completely tired of it. I know I'm tired of it. I don't think I'm the only one. I think there's a lot of people that they see some weird fucking, I don't even know what this is, this person going around advocating for this stuff, like molesting children, trying to groom them into being another gender, trying to have adults that aren't even the parents doing it as well. I think that the moment that you actually take a firm stance against these people and you make it not justice, but punishment and retribution, because that's what they deserve. It is.
8 and go.
Do you have an issue with trans adults? No. No, I don't have an issue with trans adults at all. I don't think that you can. Yeah, I don't think a trans woman is a woman. I think they're a trans woman. But I don't have an issue with a person transitioning as an adult. That's my perspective on it, right? I'm not going to tell you that, like, I'm not going to say that, like, you're not allowed to not say that. That's just my opinion.
I want to go puberty blockers. A kid might come in at 8 and go...
Exactly, they'd be led down that path by an adult.
No, they're not led down any path by any adult. An adult might listen to them and say, ooh, let's think about this. What feels right? What isn't right? How does that look for you? Now, I'm going to have to go because we're...
How is that any different than grooming? That's the exact same thing as grooming. It's one for one.
We're up on stage now.
Right,
so thank you very much for your time. Cheers, thanks very much.
Cheers.
Yeah, take it easy.
Oh my God. And so there, as we stopped filming, my cameraman was chased out of the park with a man wearing Daddies for Trans t-shirt. I was threatened with legal action. Told my career would be ruined if I released the footage, and a group of people would not let us leave. This is also another reason why you need to go after these people, is because they'll go after you. At the time, I agreed to not publish it because the situation had become increasingly confrontational and I didn't think it would be worth it. I've changed my mind. If journalists are willing to interview people that they agree with, they also should be willing to ask difficult questions about the people that they disagree with. You hear claims about the CAS review, the most comprehensive independent study of the pediatric gender medicine date. It's been debunked. You also hear Iceland presented as a model for children's gender care. These people deserve scrutiny. Yes, exactly. I think it's true.
Hi, I'm Sandy.
So,
my pronouns are she, her.
Because when people think of grooming, they're thinking of a creep trying to flirt with an underage girl. They don't know the actual definition of a word. Well, whenever there's a creep trying to flirt with an underage girl, it's fundamentally an adult trying to coerce a child into sexual behavior or into some sort of sexual activity. This is the same thing. This is an adult trying to coerce and trying to lead a child to a conclusion, a sexual decision that they don't fully understand. How do we know that they don't fully understand it? Because they're 8 years old. That's how you tell. They're pedos. The people that are targeting 8-year-olds with this absolutely are. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Of course, adults hold significant influence over children. Yeah, definitely. It's called grooming. Age of consent depends, but I do fully agree with you. Age of consent does depend, but I'm not talking about 16 to 18, okay? I'm talking about 8. 8 is a very different conversation than 17, okay? Like, I think that we all know that. And obviously, like, 20 years old is, that's your own decision. You're not being groomed at that point, right? Unless it's some kind of, like, weird fucking government thing, like, you know, like MK Ultra or something, right? The problem is that you allow or okay with adult people being trans. You have to be okay with trans kids because it's the adults that make the kids trans. Well, how about so you think that it's the adults that make the kids trans? I think that there are people out there. So this is my opinion, right? I think that there are people out there who genuinely believe that they're the opposite gender. I think that if you just kind of do some thinking about, like, what really is the scope of human psychology, right? People think all kinds of crazy things. There's people that are schizophrenic, people that think they talk to ghosts, etc. Is it really outside of the ordinary to expect that a person thinks they're another gender? I don't really think that that's too outrageous to believe. So really, and again, like, you could say that you shouldn't enable it. You can say that I don't agree with it. You can do any of that stuff. But I don't think that it necessarily means that trans adults are trying to talk to kids about being trans. And I don't think that they should do that. And to the extent that they do that, that means that I think they should be put in jail. So in any of the instances where you are accurate, our solution to this problem is probably the same. I just don't think that it's a 100% ratio. That's all. too much risk of society. Probably 85% the parent encouraging their kids. Well, it's women. It's mothers encouraging their kids to be trans so they can use them as social.
They can say what they want.
I think that's it.
They can say what they want to say, even if they're.
Oh, this is. Man, this is. He's trying to pick a side with this. Oh God.
I'll have a vanilla latte, please.
No. No.
I'll have a vanilla latte, please.
Hey, this guy wants a vanilla latte.
I'm not a guy. My pronouns are she, her.
I'm sorry. She wants a vanilla latte.
Hey, did he want this iced or hot?
She! I am a she!
Shit, I am so sorry, dude. I mean, man, ma'am.
She!
What are you doing? Are you crazy?
I'm sorry, I can't help it. He looks like a dude.
If you don't stop, this guy's gonna shoot up our shop.
Sorry again, enjoy your coffee.
Please come again. Have a good day, sir. Oh, shit.
Oh my God. Jesus Christ. People are really having fun with this character, huh? I wonder if this character is going to enter the AI cinematic universe. I wonder if they will. Because it's been, people really like this a lot. They do. And act exactly like that, I guess so. And it's just fucking ridiculous, but that's the way that people are. found guilty by a Minnesota jury for using the N-word. This was disorderly conduct. So was found guilty of disorderly conduct. Count 1 towards the child, not guilty. Count 2 towards the videographer, guilty. Reminder that the videographer is a Somalian predator who is charged with raping a teenage girl, but was let go. This is actually true, by the way. And so this is the person. Sexual assault case against Rochester men dismissed. So this is, again, you know, this is a person, he raped, I think it was a 16-year-old girl, if I'm right about that. Yeah, previously charged with raping a 16-year-old girl after she ran away from her foster home. Imagine running away from. This is happening in Jacksonville. At a 55-plus community, a 28-year-old girl was living there with her father, who was ill when he passed. He gave the home to his daughter. Well, the HOA has decided to enforce the 55 and over law and is asking for $1,000 from 155 members in the community to sue her to get her out of the neighborhood because she's 28 years old, not 55 plus. I mean, is this even legal? Like, it's not like the HOA overrules like the Civil Rights Act.
It's about enforcing the age requirements. It's 55 and above. I mean, yeah, there are some younger folks like me, and that's fine because I live with somebody that's over 55. While her dad was alive, there was no problem with the young lady living here. But the rules are the rules, and if we don't enforce the rules for one, we can't enforce the rules for all.
She moved in to care for the ailing vet when he took a turn for the worse.
He was terminally ill. He was on dialysis.
Her dad died in 2023, and in his will, he bequeathed her the house.
I think she should move. I think her dad did her the great honor of leaving the house to her, and I think it's really unfair that one homeowner who doesn't want to follow the rules is saying, all of you have to pay to sue me to get me out.
Bethany's attorney tells News4Jax any attorney worth their salt will tell you that if the HOA was clearly in the right, it would not cost over $150,000 in attorney's fees to get you removed from the property. That's what you have to pay an attorney to get them to represent you on a losing case.
That's probably true.
So how are you feeling about all the national attention? I have been put in a position to potentially become an advocate for caregivers, potentially even change the law. It's bittersweet, but it's for a good reason. Whether the outcome is in my favor or not.
William Balthazar is a neighbor of Bethany's.
As a person who have kids, I don't believe that this is the right thing to do to her, to just kick her out. The majority of the people here disagree with this. There are very few people that are really pushing it.
Anything you would say to your...
This person has not given us one moment heartburn. I don't even know she's here.
Then the vote was taken, and the board voted 5-0. Bethany has to go.
They allowed 155 people to think that they had a decision in the vote, but it was the 5 board members who spoke for the whole community.
And here's the thing, right? These are houses, they're connected to public roads, etc. It's not like this is all on totally private property.
So we weren't allowed inside the HOA meeting.
That's another good example, right? You were able to go to city council meetings, right? You're able to see city hall meetings. You're able to watch the Senate debate over issues. Now you're not able to even see why they're making these decisions. Never heard of an HOA doing anything other than basically just being little tyrants. The HOA and the people that run this are not accountable to the public in the same way the government is. People are turning this into like a fucking a generational war, right? Like, I think it's very simple to me. I don't want to have a random council of fucking Karens telling me what I can do in my own fucking house. Fat fucking hogs come together and decide that I'm not able to do something. I would never do this at all. HOA, they're gonna do this. I think the people that do this are absolute fucking tyrants. They are, and they're extremely fucking annoying. Ask a boomer why they should be allowed to discriminate on age but not race. Exactly, because there's no answer for this. he's a girl doesn't magically become a girl. Like, this is not how it works.
When it comes just to protecting young girls in sport and women in sport, that's why you have Title IX. That's why you have some of the
That's
greats
the women's sports thing.
in women's sports. If Title IX and women's sports weren't protected, then you wouldn't hear about any type of women in sport. And so
that's right.
Do you think, I guess, along the line like that, it goes against perhaps some people might say, hey, for the trans community, this could be something that could come back on us or be targeted against us? Like, how do you, I guess, view?
Well, yeah, I mean, it is kind of targeted on you because it's about trans people competing. Like, yeah, duh. So, like, this whole thing where, like, you can't criticize any bad action of the trans community because everybody has to be okay with anything like that they're doing. When the trans community does advocate and push for things that are really stupid, like, for example, biological men competing in biological women's sports, like, it's just really stupid to push for that. Yeah, the trans community is going to get a lot of negative feedback for that. They are.
like I said, I extend love, but I'm also there to love biological women, and I think that there are rights that need to be protected. And like I said, I'm going to stand true to that. I'll never falter in my beliefs in that, but I have never once said I hated the trans community.
Oh, you don't want us to play against biological women and dress out in a woman's locker room? I guess you must hate trans people. What do you want us to die? Jesus Christ, this emotional bullshit.
How do you, I guess, navigate a climate where whatever you say, people are going to say, well, this means you're automatically in this box or this label or that label, politically, morally, whatever?
I really don't care. I know that sounds bad, and I'm not trying to come off like that, but I do think, everyone always is coming at it as a negative.
Fucking based. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Because I know whatever I say, I'm going to get hate and I'm going to get love.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to live by the love, I'm going to die by the hate. And that's just not who I am. I beat to my own drum. That's just what...
Hoes mad. It's a fact of life. I think that overwhelmingly, you're going to see this happen a lot more. I think that the forced compliance to the trans ideology is going to backfire really, really badly. And the reason why is because trans people, I think, and the LGBT community has dramatically overplayed their hand. People fundamentally don't like being told what to do by people who they're not accountable to, and even by people who they are accountable to by the government, right?
No, he's going to be taken away.
Say!
He needs
Say! 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 Stop mass tickling me! Just say she!
Yeah, and I wonder why you wouldn't want these people in a women's bathroom. It's a big fucking mystery. Nobody knows why.
Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, we've got a wild little thing to talk about. You probably already know, but ladies and gentlemen, you probably shouldn't be buying like an LG monitor, television, anything of that nature, maybe sometime now or in the future. Why? Because we may have, honestly, as a community, found that there might be some undue wiretapping, there might be some undue monitoring. Like, I get that the products are called monitors, but we shouldn't be taking it so literally. And there might actually be malware or unwanted software being installed. There was a case where one person on Windows connected their laptop, or sorry, not their computer to a LG monitor, and they found out that as soon as they signed in, they got a pop-up from the LG Monitor app installer. So to give you an idea, this is an LG OLED this person has, which is not a cheap monitor, by the way, okay? OLED monitors are like expensive. They're actually the most expensive monitors you can pretty much get. You know, there used to be a point where it was like, you know, if you buy the really cheap phone, like the cheap product, you're probably going to get spied on. But if you buy the super premium thing, you're not going to get spied on. At this point, it doesn't really matter, okay? It doesn't matter anymore. The product will always read your input no matter what. So here you can see that they got a McAfee ad. Now this McAfee ad over here says McAfee's scam detector automatically spots scams. I love how they're installing the software that the software is intended to remove in the first place. Nobody needs an antivirus software like McAfee here. I'll actually give you the greatest antivirus software. It's called Common Sense. You can see right over here it's knowledge, judgment, and taste, which is more or less universal and is held without reflection or argument. Basically, just don't be a fucking idiot and download everything off the internet, okay? Or go to that shady website, right? Simple as that. Anyways, let's go through and kind of read more into this. So after they looked into this more closely, they found that the application was installed by Windows' store silently through Windows Update. So you might be like, oh, is it another microslot problem? I could kind of say yes, because being a Linux user, being like somebody that uses Mac, if anything, I don't encounter this. When I plug in shit to my Mac or my Linux system, it doesn't flood me with updates. Now, to give you an idea of what's happening, imagine you buy yourself a shiny new mouse or a nice new gaming keyboard. There's a good chance if you connect it to Windows, you probably notice after like a restart or several like minutes of use that there's a pop-up that'll show up to like, hey, download this Steel Series or Razer software. It's going to make your product a lot better, right? And simply it's because when you detect hardware on your system, Windows pulls, you know, software that it thinks would be applicable, right? It's kind of the same reason, right? Like when you install Windows, you may notice that not all your monitors work, your resolution's wonky. Well, it's because you're not using the actual GPU driver, you're using Microsoft's super basic display adapter. And over a few minutes after Windows Update pulls stuff from the internet, it'll install like the NVIDIA or AMD driver, whatever equivalent to your system, right? Kind of the same things happening over here. So anyways, they look inside over here in the Windows Event Viewer and find LG Electronics, the LG Monitor app, and it basically pulls in an application that is effectively an actual advertisement, okay? So it pulls an update, the LG Electronics Monitor app, and calls it a day. So yeah, that's kind of one of the creepier things that has sort of been happening. So a lot of people look at this and think to themselves, whoa, am I getting malware installed on my system? No, let's actually look a little bit deeper into this too. By the way, nothing that I'm going to say here is intended to defend LG. I think this is really shit behavior, but I do not like spreading misinformation on the channel. I do like getting to the meat and potatoes and getting to what the actual reality is, right? So there's been a lot of people who have been making like sort of websites and posts like lgspyware.com, which is incredibly vibe coded. It's so insane how I can probably identify which model was used to write this page out. But basically the idea over here is effectively for the last few years, people were basically using these monitors, and I guess at some point, after November 18, 2024. So not exactly a new situation, by the way. This has been going on for, I guess, 2 years based on this. And for 20 months, every post is about a mystery install. July 2025 called it a force-installed pup, which is potentially unwanted, programs, right, on client machines. So effectively, the idea here is as soon as July 1st came by, so when we were looking at that sort of post with the McAfee scam detector pop-up, that ended up basically being traced to, again, LG monitors. So again, these are the monitors in question, these ultra gear monitors that they have. Some of these, when you connect them to your computer, absolutely appear to be triggering this like potentially unwanted program, showing up into your system. Now, LG is going to sit there and say, well, we weren't doing anything wrong. You still had to click yes on the program. And while it's true, I don't think they should be spamming advertisements and whatnot into people's systems without their fucking consent. And at the end of the day, you are buying a piece of hardware for your computer, right? Like, in some cases, these monitors can be $1,300. Some cases, they can be $400. In some cases, they can be $2,500, right? So you're paying a good chunk of money for this shit to be here. Even if the monitor is like the cheapest one you can find, which is $174, that does not give you the right or the consent to be giving me fucking McAfee ads, which, by the way, might be the most unwanted fucking antivirus scanner in human history, okay? So ultimately, at the end of the day, what we've got over here is not this super... I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they were just running like a crypto...
The viral battle.
Not give you the right or the consent to be giving me fucking McAfee ads, which, by the way, might be the most unwanted fucking antivirus scanner in human history, okay? So ultimately, at the end of the day, what we've got over here is not this super... I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, they were just running like a crypto miner on people's systems. No, that would be like a lie. This is ultimately them filling
After a repo tow hooks up a vehicle, a woman hops inside the car and locks the doors.
Open the door. Ma'am, if you don't open the door, we're going to break the window and remove you from the vehicle. You are going to go to jail. We have a court order. Open the door.
I was
You're
never
going
signed
to
by
go
a judge.
to jail if
Why
you are
would you
going to
do
go
this?
to jail if you don't exit the vehicle.
Why would you do this?
Don't you touch me. If you touch me, I will get battery on a Leo. I promise you.
Okay, I don't want any.
I love how, like, so you're saying if you touch me, I'm going to hit you. What do you think is going to happen? Like, what do you think happens after that? Do you want that? That's what you're going to get.
I don't want you, listen, I don't want you to go to jail.
I have a heart condition. If you put your
step
hands
out.
on me, no.
Step out. Come on.
Move, because I got them.
She broke the car window? What the fuck? Oh my god.
Flip her over. Turn over. Turn over. I got it. Roll her. Roll her over.
Oh my god.
Turn her over. Turn her. Get back.
I ain't done that. Look,
Help
I'm
him.
back, boy.
Get back.
No,
Stay back.
you hit my wife again. Take that
Stay
badge
back.
off. Take that badge off. What's your motherfucking name?
Stay back.
What's your name? What's your badge number?
1033.
What's your badge number? You beat my wife,
Back
bro.
up.
You think that's funny?
What, you don't want to share?
Back up.
Hide behind that motherfucker.
Only I get to
You
beat my wife.
Back up.
You motherfucker, bro.
Uh-huh.
Motherfucker. Lexi, get back in the yard.
Why would he put his hands on my
Because
freaking
he's a
mother?
fucking coward.
Why would you
You're
do
a fucking coward. I want to picture her
Back
face.
up.
I want to picture her face.
Back
You
up.
go shoot an unarmed man. You're a real
Yeah, shooting an arm, man.
freaking heart problem?
Yeah, and y'all are beating
Back
her.
up.
Y'all don't even care. Look at this motherfucker. Look at this sorry motherfucker. Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Jesus, look at him.
Zoom in on him. He punched my wife in the fucking face.
Face.
Look, she's out cold.
Back
Don't even-
up.
She's unresponsive. Call a fucking ambulance, you motherfucker. Call.
We all stay
an
back.
ambulance. Look what you did to my wife. I'm marking you. Hey, bro.
Jesus.
I see you.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going
If
to
it's
arrest
not the consequences of my own actions. A classic one, huh?
you for
Not the consequences of my own actions.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going
If
to
it's not the consequences of my own actions. A classic one, huh?
arrest you for threats against law enforcement if you don't stop.
I didn't threaten you. I said, I see you. I said, I see you. Listen, I know my rights, buddy, very well. Very well. What y'all just did? She's dead. She's out cold, bro. She's
dead.
unresponsive.
What a bunch of bullshit.
Back up.
She has a fucking heart condition.
I understand that, but
you're
you
going
shouldn't
to
have-
kill her.
No,
She
we're
shouldn't
not.
have
She
complied.
has surgery
Back up.
tomorrow. Look what you just did.
Understood. Back up.
I ain't backing up. No, I ain't done. I'm on my property. Back up. Back up. Back up.
Just don't make
Back up. I ain't done.
Just
Look at this.
isn't it crazy, bro? Like, it's actually so bad. These parents are so awful that the kid has to talk them off a cliff. Like, imagine being so dysfunctional and so retarded that your kid has to reason with you.
Yes. Look at what y'all did. Are you proud of that? Are you fucking proud? You beat a woman. You put.
Mama, are you okay?
You mother.
Jesus.
Hey! Hey!
What a bunch of
Step
animals.
back! Step
I
back!
ain't done shit.
Step back!
I ain't done shit.
You good?
Look what they did to my
Step
wife.
back.
Look
You
what they
step back,
did.
brother.
I'm back. I'm
step
back,
back.
sir. I'm
Step back.
back. I'm f***ing back.
All right.
What else do you want from me?
Okay, just
I've
try.
done nothing, man. Look
Uh-huh.
what they did. She's got a heart fucking condition,
Okay,
my man.
just stay back,
Look,
okay?
I'm gonna put my
Listen,
knife
listen,
down.
No, don't touch it.
Please.
Go
please.
over there.
Okay, will you grab that knife? I don't want to get in any trouble. I just got off work.
Throw the knife on the ground right over there.
Okay, but listen,
Mama?
they can't. What the f is that? Look at my
Are
wife.
you gonna listen to
Why
me?
can't I go see my
trying, man,
mom?
but
You
I'm
can just stay over there.
concerned.
Just stay over there.
Lexi, come over
Look
here.
what they did to
He's not completely stupid. He's not completely stupid.
my mom.
Look
Do
what
y'all
they
not
did, bro.
care?
Yeah.
Please, go take care of
I
your brother.
can't leave you.
Just go. I got mama.
Uh-huh.
Y'all better know there's a civil suit coming.
She's being charged with battery on Leo and criminal
Nothing to
mischief.
do with it. And man, listen.
I'm not shaking your head to stay back,
That's,
okay?
oh yeah, I got AIDS or something. I'm sure.
I've got AIDS.
Look what you did to my wife. I got AIDS or something. I'm sure.
I've got AIDS.
Look what you did to my wife. Your job is.
What are y'all doing?
What is wrong with these people? Oh my
Get
God.
my phone. It's not even my phone.
Damn.
Call Miss Susan and have Mr. Pat get a lawyer.
Blood all over her face.
My lawyer just a minute. Just stay back, brother. I am back. How much speed you need? Y'all that scared? Like, get real. It took 3 of y'all to beat my woman.
Damn.
How much speed you need? Y'all that scared? Like, get real. It took 3 of y'all to beat my woman.
Damn.
Y'all are
It's too
done.
bad, huh?
Done, son.
Shouldn't have fucked around.
Done. Stop. What are you doing?
You're
I'm
done,
trying to
son.
spit. If I spit towards y'all are gonna put another charge on me.
Done.
Uh-huh.
Done, sir. You look like a
Goy looping.
You look like a rookie, sir.
You
Say
look
something,
like a
please.
rookie?
My camera's ready. That's why the public hates you, motherfuckers. Look, she's out again. Y'all don't care. Call 911.
I have paramedics coming.
couple days
Yeah,
ago,
we're surprised.
we received the summons. Said we had 20 days to come
20
back to him.
days,
So
yeah.
we are in the process of hiring an attorney.
Come here,
Yeah, did you do it?
No respect for you.
She has a heart
My
problem.
wife in the face. How
Uh-huh.
Look what they did to my wife. Look what they did, bro. Why did it have to go like this? Why do you have to do this? Okay.
I did it. I got out with a bad temper because I paid $23,000.
A bad temper, yeah.
I'm calling an attorney, bro. You're done. You're done, rookie.
It's crazy that these people are like, is again like adult children. Like, this is the kind of stuff, like, you learn to control yourself this way in elementary school. I don't know how adults, like, how do you go through your whole life and have this happen? Because I feel like really, like, that's such a mistake.
Listen, they have body cameras too.
I know, that's good.
So let me go over there.
Man, listen, you don't understand why I'm like this.
Let me go over
I
there.
don't understand why I'm like this. Who cares? Shut up.
She's gonna be fine. She's conscious. The medics are on the way.
That should have never happened. All that physical.
Come over here.
Yeah. Can I set it down, man? Can you grab it? Grab it. Go ahead, boss. Please, I don't have one.
Come over here. What the hell's going on?
So we're under a replevins, right? The officer was just
For the vehicle?
For the vehicle. So I'm under a replevins,
A
right?
reprevalence is a procedure where seized goods may be restored to their owner pending the outcome of a lawsuit. So I don't even, like, this is some fucking, like, ghetto shit that, like, I didn't even know existed. Or replevins? Like, how many EBT cards do you need to own in order to know what that's called? I've never even heard about this. This is, like, deep trailer logic.
Now, the cop just showed
Damn.
up like 2 days ago, served me with the replevins. My gate is locked. Everything is sealed 110%. So my wife pulled up about 10 minutes later. She said, I'm getting my out of there real quick. My wife was sitting in that vehicle when these two dads pulled up.
It's a repo?
The guy that's picking my wife up, that beat her in the face. And then this gentleman here putting the black gloves on.
So they got the vehicle. Everything. What happened to the vehicle? Why is it all busted up?
Because my wife did that, man.
She was mad.
Well, she was not only mad, but they were trying to pull her out of the vehicle. She steadily telling them I have a heart condition.
And then
really
she just
bad heart
smashed the
condition.
window out.
When she got out of the
That
vehicle,
makes
she said,
sense.
look, please don't touch
Yeah.
me. They didn't touch us. And my wife
Makes
had
perfect
a
sense.
trash bag in her hand
I
full
can
of
see
stuff.
that.
She hit the window,
Sure.
it busted.
So
Stepped
they're
out of
taking
the
the vehicle.
vehicle.
That's why we're here.
Yes,
Okay,
but
okay.
under my replevins, they're not supposed to step foot on my property. We're under a lawsuit right now. I'm supposed to maintain the vehicle. They're not supposed to step foot on my property, but they did this without will, come over the fence and got in my yard. So my wife got out of the vehicle. She turned and she smashed the back window. When she did, the dude holding her ran up and hit her immediately. Bam! Hit her right in the face. Split her.
Yeah.
I see you, boy. I see you.
Why would she smash the
Come over
window?
here. I don't want the kids to mind. Come over here. Come here, young man. There you go, okay? Y'all mind it.
I hope he's real proud.
I know.
I bet he beats his fucking wife. I bet you beat your wife. Huh? Hey, listen, man, I got all that on camera.
I know.
And I brute physical force on a woman, on a fucking woman.
So they're
His
just taking
first
the car.
intention is to punch my wife in the face. Tell him to take that badge off. Give me 5 minutes with it.
Where's our 10:15?
By the way, like, do you really think that, like, this police officer that probably gets in scuffles and brawls with people and has to maintain probably some level of physical activity on a regular basis, do you really think that you're going to win that fight? Like, it's not like the police officers are like professional boxers or something like this. But at the same time, like, I bet the probability is that if this is a police officer, you're probably going to lose.
1015's right here, just one. I came
Let's
up,
be real.
she wouldn't get out of the vehicle, I had a warrant. I explained to her she was going to
Yeah, years of experience. They're getting in fights, fucking with people all the time.
Said that she was going to catch a bag, lead over, put hands on her, so I said, "Hey, just step out." She walked around here, pulled back with a bag she had in her hand, smashed the back window. I grabbed her by the arms, went to take her down to the
Vince,
ground.
is it a supervisor? Yeah.
Started punching me on the side of the face. You okay? Yeah, I'm good. I can still feel with it. Started punching me on the side of the face and just swinging wildly, so I think he popped her once in the face, I'm not sure. Then we rolled her over and were trying to get her controlled. This dude came in. He didn't jump into the fight.
Not all cops are physically fit or exercise requirements. Okay. Yeah, not all people are either.
Okay.
I'm just going to peacekeeper. Right?
You're good. Do your thing, sir.
I just spoke to your mom. She said calm down.
Yeah.
She has to calm down too. I spoke to her. She's fine. Little Blake, medics are on their way. The sergeant over there is going to handle everything of your concern. Okay? Yeah. Way. The sergeant over there is going to handle everything of your concern. Okay?
Yeah. So what happened?
I came and got it. You know, we got a break order to go into the property.
So it's signed by a judge and squared away, right?
A break order is allowing an officer to enter the premises. Oh, okay. So then the guy lied. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So he said something that happened and it didn't actually happen. Okay, got it.
Confirmed it with my sergeant before I even took it. He pulled up. He has the paperwork. I gave it to him.
So he's the owner of the vehicle that's getting repoed?
Yep.
Right. Brought it up, threw it on the ground. She pulled up right here. Said, you're not leaving with my truck unless I'm going to jail. So I called that up. They get here, nothing really.
You're not leaving with my truck unless I'm going to jail. Okay. Okay, well, I guess you're going to jail then. Like, I don't understand, like, what do they think is going to happen? They're going to, like, talk the cops down?
Happened until,
what's wrong with you?
She was in the truck. She wouldn't get out. She wouldn't argue with me or anything. She just wouldn't get out the truck. It was him that was going back and forth between me and the tow truck driver. She swung it and broke the window.
People out of their mind.
If y'all stay here, can I get the stuff out of the car to make y'all help you?
I don't think there's enough.
I'll check. But y'all stay right here. Okay. Ain't nothing in there?
No.
I'm assuming this is your stuff, miss? On the ground?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Just stay right there, okay? I'm gonna pick this up and give it to your man over there, okay?
God damn, look at all that bullshit. So another loot explosion.
Okay.
The judge will sign that. And
what?
I paid a lot of money for this car. I've had it since 2018.
Well, you paid a lot of money for it. What the hell's that got to do with this?
We tried to we caught them with
What are you doing?
$14,000 to pay it off. They wanted us to pay.
What's she talking about?
I could care less about the car. As long as your well-being, they're gonna check you out with this young man, okay? Here. So be nice to them. Be nice to Deputy, okay? Just calm down. All right. Deal? All right.
Are you okay?
She's fine.
I got you, bro. I got you. Don't worry. He's He's both of them two chumps right there, all the way around. No, they need to know.
The milk duds. Here's your milk duds.
They need to know. They
Here
need
you
to
go.
know, bro. I got you. You two will be screwed for the rest of your lives. You'll be balls deep in shit, motherfuckers. Hey, I hope something bad happens because y'all are to blame, buddy.
It's crazy that, like, even the kids are trying to tell the parents to chill out. Even the kids. That's embarrassing.
And what they did by crossing this gate, they're wrong too.
You have to get talked down by your 12-year-old?
As greeter. What's his name and badge number, man?
I forgot his name. That's his name.
Can you please give me his badge number?
It's all going to be public view, 100%. All body cameras are
I want it before you leave. He's man, for the rest of his life. He's I'm going to banter him on every social media platform. I'm sending this video to social media, dog. It's going out.
Mission accomplished. You got it. That's you.
To the news and everything, bro. I'm just being honest.
It's gonna go to the
very
news.
honest right now. Hey, don't come up here.
I know.
No,
I gotta give. You want a card, I have to write.
Listen, you give it to somebody else.
I'm gonna give it to deputy.
You get the fuck off of my
I'm gonna give it to Deputy Hannah.
You get off of my property. Here. Hey, you gonna be worldwide news today, buddy?
Listen to me. I got a case number. It's all right here, okay?
I want their names and badge numbers.
It's all right here.
No.
No, I got it. It's right here. Deputy McLean, 5442, and you got C. Thompson, 69.
What about her?
And hers is actually 5833. That's her badge number. All right, brother. I'm gonna put my badge number on there too, okay? This is mine right here.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a great review, bro. You've been nothing but kind to me. Thank you, sir.
Around there too, okay? This is mine right here.
Hey, listen, I'm gonna give you a great review, bro. You've been nothing but kind to me. Thank you, sir.
You mind? Could I give you your knife back and you be?
It's a retard whisperer, man. It's a retard whisperer. A good review? A 5-star? Wait, what is wrong with these people?
I'll throw it in the yard.
Yeah, you can throw it, bro. It's cool, man. Just don't try not to throw it in the dirty.
I'm not gonna do you. Just listen to me. Don't do nothing stupid, okay?
I like that. I got a great head, bro.
I've got a great head.
Okay? Promise?
Yes, sir.
And
It's a
take care. I didn't
retard
mean to
whisperer,
disrespect
bro.
you,
Like,
okay? If it was my choice, I would have let you go see your mom, okay?
It's no worries, man. Listen, you've been great, bro. Thank you.
The female suspect, Melissa, was charged with felony battery on a law enforcement officer, felony
she
resisting
got what she wanted.
an officer with violence, felony assault on a law enforcement officer, and criminal mischief less than $200 in damage. The charge of battery on a law enforcement officer was dropped while the resisting an officer with violence charge resulted in adjudication withheld, meaning the judge accepts her plea but will not formally convict her on the charge. She was adjudicated guilty for the remaining charges of assault on a law enforcement officer and criminal mischief. She was sentenced to 3 years of probation. There are no public records indicating her husband filed any lawsuits towards the officers involved.
All right. No way.
We saw how fast reality gets rewritten when things don't go someone's way. Now listen, excessive force in policing is real. And when I see it, I'll call it out without things don't go someone's way. Now listen, excessive force in policing is real. And when I see it, I'll call it out without hesitation. But this right here, this isn't that. What you're seeing is a moment where control gets challenged and then flipped. Because she's not trapped, she's not confused. She steps out, walks past the officer, and then chooses to shatter that window. That's the pivot point. That's where everything changes. And the second the officer moves in, she throws the first punch. Now here's where it gets interesting. Because while that's happening, there's another layer playing out. Camera comes out and the narrative starts forming in real time. Suddenly it's less about what happened and more about what this could turn into. Now, I've stopped people myself and I had to tell them the car was getting towed. You're not just dealing with a vehicle, you're dealing with somebody's lifeline. And you never know who you're gonna get on the other side of that moment. Then you hear it, you look like a rookie. That's not frustration, that's bait. I used to call that setting the hook. Say just enough to get a reaction so you can claim the moment, but he doesn't bite. And when the husband starts telling his version, listen close to what's missing. Because sometimes the truth isn't in what people say, it's in what they quietly leave out.
Goddamn, bro. Like, it's crazy how it's so obvious what's going on with these people, right? And it's like, it's nuts to me. I think the biggest surprise with watching a lot of these cop videos is how little self-control these adults have. It's like, how can it be an adult that's behaving this way? Like, how can an adult act this way? Husband started to record after the incident started? Yeah, of course, right? I mean, I think that's really what it is. And Midwest Safety, the GOAT, yeah, there's the video, man. I totally agree with what he's saying, by the way. I absolutely do, like 100%. It's obvious when we see the body cams. Yeah, exactly. your foster home and then this piece of shit rapes you, right? I mean, that's it. This is Minnesota. Well, again, so like, let's listen to, this is the defense attorney talking about it. Here we go. Let's watch this. This video is pretty popular.
Verdict today. I think it's pathetic. I think it's sad. I think it's sick. I think, What's your reaction to the verdict today? I think it's pathetic. I think it's sad. I think it's sick. I think, shocked. I've never had a trial where they keep people, this is a misdemeanor, by the way, till 10:30 at night. Never even heard of that one before.
Wow.
Most courts, most counties, what they do is around 4:30, 5 o'clock is they say, okay, we're going to send the jurors home. They got kids, they got families, they got things to do. No, we're keeping them. I've never heard of that before. So that alone, I know this is a thing, I guess, Olmsted County, they do this. I thought that was bizarre. But the verdict itself, let's make something clear here. Let's make something very clear. She's acquitted, not guilty, right? Not guilty with the child. The state reads a 5-minute victim impact statement about the child? She was acquitted about the child. She's convicted on the count involving the cameraman, who they never called to testify. Keep this in mind. They never called the cameraman to testify. This judge prohibited us from telling the jury that Shire Jamali, had a GoFundMe page, $340,000. He testified that it was done in May last year, done. That's not true. There's a link on the bottom of the page that
He's still farming money for it right now.
Goes to another open account. My investigator hit the link last night, donated $10. It's open. You can donate right now. You can donate right now to Shire Jamali's GoFund page right now. It's open.
So you can give him money for being called the N-word?
He testified under oath and perjured himself. He perjured himself over and over and over and over again. This was without any stretch of the imagination. It was like I was fighting the prosecutor and the judge. It was like I'm taking on two parties at the same time. The judge and the prosecutor. It was very bizarre. Very bizarre. GoFundMe. Huge, worldwide, giant. It's like Google, right? This is so big. My investigator was going to testify that this page with Shire Jamali's name on it. 5-year-old. The kid's 9. 5-year-old. $340,000 he raised. The judge would not let me show it to a jury. Sorry. The judge would not let me show it to the jury. Okay? And if you go through any of you right now can go online right now, and it just, like, you can't authenticate this. You can't lay foundation. This prosecutor is telling the judge, oh, how do we know this is real? How do we know this is real? So anyone can make this up. You can go online right now, today, right now, go on that page, unless they run and take it down, scroll down. He has an open GoFundMe. He said on the stand he does not. He lied and lied and lied and lied. This entire thing's a shakedown. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. The prosecutor should be ashamed of himself. The judge should be ashamed of herself. I had a battle here for 4 days.
I don't think that they should be ashamed of themselves. I think that I think that you need to hold these people accountable for making decisions like this. And until we're willing and we have people don't have the stomach to hold judges accountable yet. They don't. They're not willing to do it yet.
Stupid misdemeanor.
It's a her. Yeah, it was a woman. It was a white woman.
Disorderly conduct. This is nuts. This was crazy.
I think.
340,000. Nope. Can't show the jury. 5-year-old. Kid was 9. His name's on it. Can't authenticate it. Still open account. So we're going to appeal it. We will appeal it.
Good.
We have so many appellate issues, I don't even know where to begin. Judges screaming at me during the trial. Judges interrupting me every time I want to make a record. Judge says to me, Mr. Corrales, you keep wanting to make a record after I ruled. This is crazy. Most rulings during a trial by a judge are made during the trial. And then when you take a break, you make a record, right? You take a break, you make a record. I kept asking. If you're in there and you watch the trial, I kept asking, I need to make a record. I need to make a record. She'd get upset, run in the back. Get upset, run in the back. Your Honor, I need to make a record.
The judge thing's a huge issue.
It started piling up. All these objections started piling up. Your Honor, I need to make a record. I need to make a record. She'd run in the back. I'm like, Judge, we got to make a record. This is insane. This isn't law. This is a circus. This is monkey court. This is nuts, right? You make a record. The judge should come out and say, okay, I made my ruling, Mr. Corrales, what is your record you like to make? I try to make a record. She interrupts me from the beginning. Right from the start. Every time I tried to make a record, she interrupted me. Every single time. Every single time. I'm like, Your Honor, I'm trying to make a record. That's what we do as lawyers, right? I don't know if the lay people or the people in the community understand this. The way trials work is judges make rulings during trial. We don't want to interrupt the trial to make a record every time someone objects and there's a ruling. So when there's a break or you go to lunch or at the end of the day, you make a record.
The judge is a
She
middle-aged
wouldn't let
white
me make a
woman?
record.
I would have never guessed.
If you're in there, you heard it. She'd talk over me.
It's a
she'd
shock.
interrupt me. Wouldn't let me make a record. Over and over and over again. Why?
Nope.
She didn't want anybody to hear what? They didn't disclose the name of Shire Jamali until Monday. The first day of trial. No, I'm not done. Sorry. Until the first day of trial, they didn't even disclose his name. Think about that.
How do you do that?
A jury trial in the United States of America. I didn't get the name until Monday. When we started the trial, until Monday. And then my investigators do a record check. Then we uncover, oh my God, he's got this GoFundMe. $340,000.
Mr. Corrales, a couple of things.
Sure.
According to the court, you agreed to those free trial terms about not getting the witnesses beforehand and...
Did not agree to it. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. I thought I was coming down here to try a free speech case. You all saw the video. I thought I was coming to Rochester to try a free speech case based on the video. Then it took on an entirely different, it just turned, right? Mr. Jamali takes the stand. Wouldn't answer any question I asked him. He sat there like this. I don't understand. He looked at his interpreter. I don't understand. I don't understand.
He has an interpreter. Oh my God.
Of
course.
Over and over and over again.
Is this the same one that raped the 16-year-old?
When the prosecutor asked him a question, he had no problem through the interpreter understanding.
Yeah.
Never had a problem.
Isn't it crazy that we let this happen? Isn't that insane? That like we have a child rapist that is now winning a court and needs an interpreter in court so we can put a woman in jail for calling him a mean word. That's where we're at. It's so frustrating. If it's really frustrating for you, then my best advice is to, next time, vote for the person that will make this go away. That's it. Vote for the person that will get rid of this. That's it. Because there is a way to get rid of this. It's actually super easy. Who? This is a 20-year process. And you have to begin, I think that the process began in 2022. I would argue that when Elon bought Twitter, the process began. You could argue when Trump won the first election, it began. I don't really think that's true because you had COVID. This is going to be a long process of systematically going after all of these groups of people and doing all of this. And I think that the American public, think about it like this, right? How many people wanted every single illegal alien deported in 2016? Like less than half of how many want it now. So I think that you really underestimate the power of a changing consensus and how the population's feelings will shift over time. So, like, what seems unthinkable now will become commonplace in 5 or 10 years. You might not imagine it. You might not even know what it is. Even I don't always know what it is. Nobody does. But it's going to happen. In a just world, this case wouldn't exist because the defendant wouldn't be free? Yeah, of course, right? It wouldn't have even happened. And here's another bonus event. We're going to talk about this after the video. The 9-year-old had an ankle monitor.
Problem understanding. Not one time. I put the detective on the stand. Detective, did he ever have a tough time understanding you? Never had a tough time understanding him. Never had a tough time. Not one time did the detective have any problems understanding. You were in the jury room, or in the trial. You were in the courtroom. You were in the courtroom. You're in the courtroom. He acted like he didn't understand any question I asked him. Every single question was like,
how convenient.
It's like, huh? Oh, They went on and on and on. This is a fraud. This whole thing's a fraud. The cameraman? The cameraman. By the way, let's make something clear. They didn't convict him with the child. Your headlines can be about the child. No, they convicted her on the video with the cameraman. The disorderly conduct.
Yeah, you weren't being mean to the kid. You were being mean to the child rapist.
It's about the cameraman. Right. And from what I understand about the cameraman, he has a GoFundMe. And his GoFundMe, hold on, his GoFundMe is he died. He has a GoFundMe that he died. Give money to the cameraman who died. And from what I understand, he's well alive. This whole thing is fucking bullshit.
Mr.
This is a. This whole thing is fucking bullshit.
Mr.
This is a fraud. This is a fraud upon the community.
I love how he doesn't stop talking. The video just ends. Oh my God. I love this guy. What a fucking champion. He did his best. And at the end of the day, disorderly conduct. So this is what you remember what I've always said about how you can just apply laws in whatever way you want. So yeah, we have freedom of speech here, but you can also just look at certain types of speech as disorderly conduct. This is what I've always said before about how you need to weaponize these different systems and rules against people that dislike you. If you don't do that, they will do it to you. And that's what I think the biggest problem is. It's that conservatives and people that are Republicans that want to preserve the integrity of the country, care about the Constitution, etc., these people are looking to destroy the Constitution. They hate the Constitution. They hate the people that wrote the Constitution. They hate the people that came from the country that the Constitution founded, and they hate everything about it. They hate American values, and they want to get rid of them. Fundamentally, these people are an existential threat. They are. They're an existential threat. And if the guy saying he has a GoFundMe is saying he's dead, let the guy get taken down right now, well, he's probably not going to have anything happen to them, right? Because this is the issue. It's that inside of these groups of people, they don't care about hypocrisy. They don't care about double standards. They don't care about logic. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about anything. The only thing that they care about is power accumulation. They only care about winning or losing. Everything else besides that is totally secondary. So wait a second. We're told that Shiloh Hendricks had berated a child. That was allegedly the reason the Somali guy started filming and hassling her. But the jury acquitted her of disorderly conduct against the child and convicted her of disorderly conduct against the guy with the camera, which means that she didn't actually say anything to the kid. She was being harassed by the guy with the camera for no reason. And now she's being convicted of the crime of simply telling the guy to leave her alone. This is total madness. See, this is the thing that, like, people like, I would say even Matt Walsh don't understand. You think that it's madness because you are looking at it from the frame of reference of a Western mind. This is not the way that they see things. They look at it as we won because she lost. There is a pure winner and loser mentality. And unless you are willing to get down in the dirt and deal with them on that level, then it's not going to matter. It's immigrant protection. Yes, exactly. That's really what it is. And so, get ready for this. Yeah, this is the judge in the case, by the way. Well, I haven't seen the judge. I'll look at this here. So let's take a walk through the American justice system. Shamarke Omar is the Somali man who filmed Shiloh Hendricks in July. If January 2022, him and another Somali man, quote, allegedly spent 2 days raping an underage foster care runaway in a trailer, keeping her falsely imprisoned. This is what this person did. In March 2025, all charges were dismissed in the interest of justice. Weeks later, weeks later, after he gets the charges dismissed, he turned his camera phone onto the playground after a young Somali thief attempted to steal a white mom, Shiloh Hendricks, and began haranguing that white mom for saying the N-word, right? Omar demanded that Hendricks repeat the word on camera, which she did 4 times, and Omar said the word 5 times in less than a 1-minute video. 4 months later, multiple disorderly conduct charges were maliciously brought against her on the playground incident, in which she was the only victim and Sharmike Omar was the videographer. Then last night, she was convicted specifically for saying the N-word to Sharmike Omar after he demanded she say it, and he himself said it repeatedly. Her sentence is $1,000. That's not a big deal. And 200 hours of community service. 200 hours. Look at that. Isn't that insane? That's crazy. That's like an entire month's of work. Think about that. You work 40 hours a week. That's 180 hours. Or sorry, it's more. It's more. Holy shit, I didn't think about that. Yeah, it's even more almost. Yeah, it's only 160. God damn. So, yeah, look at this here. And by the way, Sharmike Omar was never called to testify in the trial. But don't worry, that's not all the justice that we have in store for today. Keep in mind the substance of Shiloh's crime as well as her sentence as we move forward. Rewind to 2020. That's when Sharmike Omar, our favorite Somali videographer, along with another Somali friend of his, separate from his alleged co-raper, committed a violent assault in the street. Oh, well, there it is. So this is the second time that he's committed a crime as well. Omar threw a rock at a car and then beat the 16-year-old driver. A bystander tried to intervene, but Omar's accomplice threatened him with a knife. For this, Sharmike Omar was charged with merely disorderly conduct. So he got charged for the same thing that she got charged for, but he beat the shit out of somebody, and she said a word. Oh my God. Are you shitting me? Yep. You can't make this shit up, man? Yes, exactly. For hurling a deadly weapon at a vehicle, then beating a teenage driver while his criminal pal held off onlookers at knife point, Omar faced the exact same charge Shiloh Hendricks faced for saying a word that Omar asked her to say as she held her child in her arms and fled the playground before Omar could assault her too. Like Shiloh Hendricks, Sharmike Omar was convicted of this count of disorderly conduct, a $200 fine. So let me get this straight. So he wasn't convicted of any community service whenever he threw a rock at a car and beat the shit out of the person in the car, but she was convicted with the same fine with an additional 200 hours of community service? I can't say what I think we should do. I can't say it. But maybe in 10 years, there'll be a person who's going to run for government who will do it. Maybe. But I will say this. The way this needs to be solved needs to be so definitive that it will never happen again. It will never happen again. Not in 1,000 years. And I think that's true, right? If you approach this in the way that it should be approached, I think that that's exactly what would happen. But unfortunately, the public doesn't have the stomach for that. I think over time they will acquiesce and they will realize that this is what has to be done. But right now, that's not the case. That's really about it. Let me see if I can find this here. And that's to be